Hello, I come before you a broken man today. For you see, I have done something that many people on this earth should never have to put themselves through, either willingly or by suggestion. Last night, at the time of recording this video, I watched the infamous shock film Cannibal Holocaust. And if any of you don't know what that is, consider yourselves lucky. I would not recommend searching it out because it is one of the most baffling, most just disgust inducing films I've ever come across. And I'm not saying that in the form of like the typical reviewers you would see, like just faking outrage and such like that. This film, you know, I just can't put it into words properly about this. And I'm not doing a Horton Hears on it because that would mean I'd have to watch the film again to write a script for it and witness the shit that I had to see in it all over again. And it already fucking disturbed me the first time, so I just don't want to go through that again. For one thing, there are real animal deaths in it, which is going to piss a lot of people off. Yes, instead of actually making, like fucking animatronic animals or something to fucking taken place of certain scenes in that film where animals unfortunately have to die, they use real ones. For example, there's a scene where. Well, I probably should explain what the film is, basically. So, if you haven't heard of Cannibal Holocaust, I will explain to you the basic premise of the film as best as I possibly can. It basically involves this guy who found footage, supposedly, of people, of four camera crew people who went out to I want to say it's like a Brazilian tribe, because I've heard some people say it's like a Brazilian tribe that went out to like, of cannibals, basically. Hence the name Cannibal Holocaust. And I'm sorry, you'll hear me pausing a lot from this, but I'm just trying to reprocess what the fuck it is I just watched. But yes, this guy found footage. This guy found footage. Fuck me. This guy found footage of four people who went out into a Brazilian cannibal tribe to observe the behaviors and such, sort of like, do like a documentary kind of thing. And of course, if they came back alive, they would receive some sort of reward for it, quite possibly monetary, because that's usually the incentive behind these kind of things. But oh ho, what they discovered when looking back to footage in America was not very pleasant. It was some of the most disturbing footage they've ever come across, and you'd be inclined to agree. Because again, they're real animal deaths they used in there. They're aside from the turtle, there's like a spider monkey they have in there that they like chop the brain off of, and in the original uncut version, there's like a muskrat scene where they just like slice open a muskrat and eat their stomach and whatnot. And also, there are some gang rape scenes involved in it. Not just with the tribe members itself, but with the camera people, The camera people decide to gang rape this one tribal girl who happens to be 14 years old. And rape as itself is already a horrible thing to have happen. But this is just to put into perspective how much more fucked up it is because of the age difference. Because these guys are like, what, in their like mid, late 20s or something, possibly. It's three guys and one girl, basically, there, who are taking footage of this. And the three guys basically decide, hey, it's a good idea to rape this tribal chick who's obviously underage. You can argue all you want about, like, oh, different cultures and whatnot. It's just like, no, don't even fucking come at me with that. No, rape is horrible, no matter who it happens to, no matter where it happens. It's just a horrible thing in general. Nobody should have to go through that, even if they're part of some kind of tribe like that. It's just Fucking hell. See, a lot of people harp on the gore of this film, and there is a particular scene where one of the guys gets his dick sliced off, which admittedly is a very difficult scene, especially after watching Traces of Death, which I have seen that before as well, so, yeah. That's also a thing that fucked me up, but... yeah. But the more realistic scenes of it all, that they actually managed to get away with. And keep in mind, this is an Italian film, I believe. It's got an Italian director. I keep saying developer. I'm too lost in the games. It's got an Italian director to it. I think his name is Ruggero Deodato or something like that. And as I've learned, this director was apparently arrested on obscenity charges, which I feel is rightly deserved because between the animal death scenes and the gang rape scenes, I say it's pretty well deserved. I'm just going to say that. It's just very well deserved. There's nothing else beyond that. I'm really struggling to find the words to fucking describe to you in detail what this is like. And again, I'm not doing a Horton Hears on this because that means I had to watch the whole film all over again and write a script down of like what the fuck it is I'm watching here. And one of the more bizarre things about it is that like they play whimsical music over these kinds of things, which that can be done well in films. Just like if you have like something fucked up going on, but you have like excuse me, a little bit there. If you have like whimsical music in the background of something fucked up, you can make that work in certain things, but it just comes off as mostly jarring in this film, honestly. And I just don't know what else to say about it here. I don't know if I should be saying any more about it here. And again, I've seen some people defend this film online, and fair enough. If you saw something in this that I couldn't, I'm not here to judge people's movie tastes and whatnot. You know, if that's something you're into, then you know, go for it. And apparently, there's worse films out there. Like I've seen one also with a cannibal title there called Cannibal Ferox, which is supposedly a worse film than that. I'm not really looking forward to watching that at some point. I probably won't watch it at some point if it's true that it's worse there, because I've already got a lot of information in my head already. I don't really need to have that down in there. And there have been films that have emulated Cannibal Holocaust. Apparently there's one that came out in 2015 called The Green Inferno, which is like an Eli Roth film, which wasn't as bad as Cannibal Holocaust as some people have said, but it still went a couple places there. But that's all from like hearsay. I don't really want to go seeking out that kind of stuff myself. But the point is, this film fucked me up, and I say that with no exaggeration. I was literally sitting for like 2 hours in my bed last night, just really struggling to go to sleep. It's just like, not because I was afraid of it, but because I was just like so baffled by what I was seeing. I was just sitting there like this, like I was just struggling to process what the fuck I just watched, and I was doing this shit, just rubbing my head, and just really just like, what the fuck, man? Just Christ alive there. I will give one praise though. In the beginning of the film, you know, when the guy's going out to find this footage, you know, the main guy we see, he's like this mustached guy with like a receding curly hairline and such like that. When we see him finding the footage out there, and it's like we come across like the corpses of the film crew and such like that, the models they use for that is admittedly pretty cool looking. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of what they do with the models there, you know, the stuff they made to emulate like the film crew being actually eaten there, like after they've been eaten and such. Like the decaying corpses you see there, the fucking dummies they use for that are admittedly pretty cool looking, but that's pretty much the only praise I can give that there. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, can go down in a fire there. And thankfully, I'm going to spoil the ending a bit here for you. After they're finished reviewing the footage, you know, on the final day where they actually finish watching the shit go on, the director that the guy brings the footage to, immediately calls up somebody and says, I want this all burned. I want this footage burned here. Which is the smartest decision they could have made because, honestly, nobody wants to see any of that there. And, it's like, there can be arguments made about, like one of the guys particularly goes off about, survival and whatnot, and that could be a fair enough point in and of itself, but this obviously did not care much about survival there. Because the shit they did practically inhibited their survival. They basically brought upon they brought on all of the punishment themselves. They basically fucked with the tribe firsthand. And they basically brought it upon themselves that they got eaten by the cannibals. So really you feel no sympathy for any of these characters. Even the one woman that's with them. That, and she does try to stop the gang rape scene that happens, which applause to her for trying to stop that, even though she fails. But even still, she wasn't really doing much to stop the other stuff going on. Like, in one scene in particular where they set the village on fire or something, where the guys deliberately set the village on fire. She does nothing really to stop that, say, no, maybe we shouldn't do that. We were supposed to be here just taking footage of these people. We're not supposed to, potentially fuck with them, but no, because these guys are a bunch of fucking dude bros, they think it's fun to fucking set a whole Brazilian tribe on fire. That's fucking great thing right there. And I'm watching these scenes, which is like, why are you doing this? Why do you feel the need to do that shit there? I'm already having a hard enough time trying to recount this film. You can see now why I'm not doing a review on this, because it's just already hard enough trying to recount by memory what the fuck happened in this film. But yeah, I do not recommend anyone watch this, in all sincerity. Do not look up Cannibal Holocaust there. And if you decide to ignore that, because I know a lot of you like to be assholes like that, that's on you, I guess. Don't say I didn't warn you. But, yeah. I am still planning a Horton Hears on another film going on here. And I'm sort of working on using a new editing software right now. I'm using Wondershare Filmora 13, which I'll possibly be using for this one too. So, yeah, whenever that comes out there, I just started work on it a couple days ago. So, yeah, that should be out in possibly the next week or so, whenever I get around to doing that there. And if any of you are new to the channel, if you're just coming across here, if you'd like to see what exactly my Horton Hears series is about, I'll leave a link to that. I'll recommend you watch that, because even though they're not the best in quality, admittedly, you'll still find them a lot more fun to watch than Cannibal Holocaust. I'll vouch for that no matter what there. But then again, a lot of things are better to watch than Cannibal Holocaust. But regardless, I'll just leave a link to the playlist for Horton Hears down in the description, or in the pinned comment of this, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. And I also tend to stream every so often. My schedule is supposed to be 11 a.m. every Monday through Friday. 11 a.m. EST, because I live in Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I just don't have a lot else to go on there. So yeah, just see y'all later.